Okay, so welcome back, and now in this video we will be learning how to create queries. Okay, so queries are basically retrieving data based on various criterias. Okay, so say for example you want a query of all the lions that exist in this table. Okay, just a simple query like that. Or for example you want to know all the animals whose origin is Botswana. Okay, that's what you call a query. You get data based on criteria, so it can be a single criteria, it can be multiple criteria. So for example you can say I want to know all the rhinoceros that are from Botswana. Okay, or you can say I want to know all the rhinoceroses that are from Botswana and that are born from this date to this date. So this is a query that has multiple criterias inside it. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to refer to a past paper question to do our first query. Okay, so if you do go through this 2013 paper, the first query that they have asked us to create, it says uh, Jonathan wants a list of sponsors who are less than 16 years old on 1st July 2013, that is born after 1 July 1997. Okay, so he wants all fields displayed. I'll tell you what that means. Create a query or search on the sponsor table to find this information. Okay, so we are about to create a query based on the sponsor table. Okay, so let's go into the sponsor table and let's click on create, and once again you have either query wizard or query design. I prefer to use query design. Okay, so I'm going to click on that, and let me close the property sheet. I don't need that. Which table will I be referring to? As the question paper told me, I'll be referring to the sponsor table. Okay, so let me take the sponsor table from here. Now over here, what are the fields that we are going to display? Over here in the past paper, they have clearly told us he wants all fields displayed. So go ahead and click on each of the fields. Okay, so sponsor F, double click, it appears over here. Title, double click, first name, initial, last name, address 1, address 2, postcode, phone, DOB. Okay, so I have taken all the fields, and can you see this tick box over here? So this tick box basically means show this field. Okay, that's what it means. Tick means show the field. If you do not want to show the field, you simply untick it. However, the past paper told me show all fields, so I'm going to keep it ticked. Okay, now what was my criteria? There was only a single criteria, which is he wants to know those who are less than 16 years old. So that means those who are born after 1st July 1997. So this particular criteria is going to come inside the date of birth field, isn't it? So date of birth is over here, and you can see that this is the row for criteria. Can you see right now my cursor is on the criteria row? So 1st July 1997, remember month comes first. In my computer, the month comes first. I do not know, you will have to check on your computer how it is. So you can just open up the sponsor table and see. Now if you see in my table, can you see, if you look at this, the month is coming first, then the day, then the year. So do check on your computer what is the format your computer is following, and when you're typing your criteria, stick to the format that your computer is following. Okay, so let me go back to my query, which is in the behind. Where is my query? It's over here. Okay, so let's make it full screen. Okay, so 1st July 1997, so July is 7/1/1997. Okay, now I want to know only those that are born after. Okay, born after. So what type of angle bracket do I put? So after 1997 means 1998, 1999, 2000, 2001, 2002. As you can see, the value is only increasing, isn't it? So I need something greater than this, isn't it? If after 1997, it means 1998, 1999, 2000, 2001, 2002. The value is only increasing, so I need something greater than this. So I'm going to put the greater than symbol. Okay, I want something greater than this, which means those who are born after 1st July 1997. Okay, so there was only one criteria. Let me just go through my question paper and see again, is it only one criteria? Yes, it's only one criteria. So now what you can do is you need to run it. Okay, you need to process this. So you can come to query design and click on run, which means process it. Okay, so when you click on run, you can see over here you have altogether five records of those who are born after 1st July 1997. Okay, you have 5 records of those born after 1st July 1997. So how do you save this? You can save this query as db2a. Okay, so you can go ahead and click on save and save it as db2a and click on OK. Now once again I'm reminding you, you can see the query is not visible on the left hand side. That is because right now only tables are visible. Okay, so I need to click on this and say display all access objects. Okay, so now even my query will be visible, my table will be visible. If I create a form, the form will also be visible. Okay, so make sure you have clicked on all access objects. Let's move on to the next question, the next query, where it says over here, Jonathan wants a list of sponsors whose title is MR, whose title is Mr, and who have a postcode beginning with HH4. Okay, so there are two criterias in this particular question. The first criteria is their title should be MR, Mr, and their postcode should begin with HH4. The list should only show the fields title, initial, last name, address 1, address 2, and postcode. Create a query search on the sponsor table to find this information. So let's come to create and let's go into query design. Okay, so which table do we refer to? We refer to the sponsor table. That's what the question paper told us, isn't it? Okay, so let's go into tables and let's go into the sponsor table. Let's pull this down. Okay, what are the fields we need? We need title, initial, last name, title, initial, last name, and we need address 1, address 2, and postcode. Address 1, address 2, and we need postcode. Okay, so exactly as the question paper told me which fields to display, I have taken those exact fields. Okay, now let's go back to what is the criteria. So criteria number 1 is in title. So let me come to the title field. Over here we have the title field, and for criteria, within double quotes, I'm going to put MR. Okay, I only want the MRs. Okay, so inside double quotes I have put MR. And the second was those whose postcode begins with HH4. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to type in double quotes, open double quotes, HH4, close double quotes, and put a star, which means beginning with HH4. Okay, so HH4, and then I put a star, which means beginning with HH4. Is there any other requirements? Mr. Postcode, nothing else, right? No sorting even to be done. No sorting even to be done. So let me go ahead and click on run. You may have entered a comma without a preceding value. Oh, let's remove these double quotes and let's just simply put HH4 star. Okay, so as you can see, that worked. We shouldn't have put the double quotes over there. So you can see over here we have those whose title is Mr. and whose postcode begins with HH4. So there are altogether 3 records for this particular query. Okay, so how do we save it? We save it as let's go down. We save the query as db2b. Okay, so you can go ahead and click on save and save this as db2b and click on OK. So you can see your second query has also been saved. Say for example you want to modify this again. Remember, you have to go into design view if you want to modify it again. Okay, right now you're in datasheet view where you just simply view the data. However, if you want to modify it, if you want to add another criteria, if you want to do some sorting, whatever it is, come into design view and you can do it from over here. And then once you're done, you can click on the run button. Okay, let's go on to the next question, which has now over here they talk about the relationship, which we have already done. This part we have already done. Let's move on to the last question. There was one more query somewhere over here. Yes, Jonathan wants a list of sponsors who have donated at least £20 to sponsor an animal. Jonathan wants a list of sponsors who have donated at least £20 to sponsor an animal. The list should show only fields amount, date, and name, animal, first name, last name, and phone. There is also a sorting that should be done. Create a query search to find this information from the linked tables. Now if you do look very carefully, we are retrieving information from multiple tables. For this particular query, we are retrieving information from multiple tables. We are taking information from multiple tables. Okay, that's why it's saying to find this information from the linked tables. and this is only possible when a relationship has been created. If a relationship was not created, you cannot get information from multiple tables. The relationship has to be created, thereafter you can extract or you can retrieve information from multiple tables. Okay, so let's go ahead, let's click on create query design, and we will be using all three tables now: animal, donation, sponsor. Let's pull this down so we can see all the fields visible. And what are the fields? We need amount, date, name. Amount, which is over here, date over here, name over here. Okay, then we need first name, last name, phone. First name, last name, and the phone. Okay, so as you can see, I took fields from all three tables, and this is only possible because the tables are related to each other. You can see the tables are linked to each other. You can see the relationship between the tables, right? We created in our previous video. Okay, so what was the first criteria? There is only one criteria: who have donated at least 20 pounds. So donation amount, where is donation amount? Donation amount is not over here. Amount is over here. So what you can say over here is at least 20 pounds means greater than or equal to 20 pounds, isn't it? At least 20 pounds means 20, 21, 22, 23, isn't it? So you need something greater than or equal to 20, isn't it? So you can say greater than or equal to 20. Okay, so there was only one criteria, and there was a sorting also that needed to be done, which is be sorted in ascending order of last name. Be sorted in ascending order of last name. So we do have last name over here, and this is the sort row. We will simply click over here and say sort it in ascending order. Okay, and thereafter, while you're in now it's time to run it. Now it's time to execute this. Okay, so while you're in the query design tab, click on run, and over here you can see the results. So these are the results of those who donated at least 20 pounds. Okay, once you're done with this, you can go ahead and save the query as db5. Okay, now what I must tell you over here is when it comes to query, there are so many different types of criteria that can be placed, and you can hide fields, you can display fields, you can sort them, you can do multiple sorts. There are so many things that can be done for query. Right now we have just seen very few features only we have seen. As you keep practicing past paper questions on my as you keep practicing various database past paper questions, you will deal with various query requirements, where they will say, for example, to do multiple sorts, or for example they may tell you to find value, like for example they may say find those who are born between this date and this date. Okay, so that's something a bit different. We haven't learned that exactly over here. Now what I have done in this video is I have given you a kind of an understanding of how a query works, but now what I recommend is practice as much past paper questions of database as possible, because in each past paper they ask a different type of criteria. Okay, they ask you to create a query, and the criteria is a bit different, where they'll say you to hide certain fields, they may say to show certain fields, they may say find the value in between these two, or find those that are this or this, or something like they will ask you various questions, in different ways they will ask you for criteria. So I would recommend, okay, now you have got a basic understanding of how query works. Now do try and practice other database past paper questions, okay, where you will then get a stronger understanding of the different types of criteria that are used in a query. Okay, right now you have just learned some of the basic ones. Okay, so with that we are done with queries then. Okay, I'm reminding you again, you have not completed queries, go ahead and practice more database past paper questions. Okay, for example, attempt the 2015 database past paper question, 2018 database past paper question, just pick up some of the database past paper questions and practice them, because then you will learn how to properly use criterias in different ways. Okay, so then we have one more remaining, which is how to create reports. Okay, that is the final thing that we do need to learn. Okay, so in the next video we will be looking at how to create reports. Okay, see you in the next video. Take care.